Hello, lovely people out there. I'm Kate Hill, and welcome to another property news update. Now, we give you the best commentary and content on our channel here. So before I do anything else, please let me ask you to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you get all our expert hints and tips around buying, owning and investing in property as soon as I post them. And if you enjoy our free content and you are finding it useful, then please click on the all-important like button too. YouTube loves a like button. If you click on that like button, they will recommend this video, and I really appreciate that support. To explain who the heck I am and what qualifies me to be sitting here talking to you about buying, owning and investing in property, I am a property professional. I've been in real estate for a really long time, advising and helping people. I've seen most things happen. I've gone through cycles, the ups and the downs. I'm out there every day at that property coalface, and I do genuinely care about empowering every single one of you to get the best outcomes for yourselves. So stay tuned. Join me for the next few minutes and I will cover off on all 8 capital cities have recorded house price growth. The number of mortgages in COVID-19 deferral has fallen significantly. Extended international travel rules force down house prices. Consumer confidence rises to a 7-year high. You can also watch one of my videos here. I've also listed it in the description below to see how I think the US election outcome will affect the Australian property market. So, according to new data from SQM Research, all 8 capital cities have recorded a growth in house prices in the past month, and 7 of the 8 have had annual price growth. SQM Research's price index shows that the national average was a 2.3% rise in the rolling month index in the month to the 10th of November, and a 5.6% increase in annual terms, with regional areas showing yet again better growth than the capital cities. The monthly increases by the 8 capital cities were headed by a 2.9% rise in Hobart and a 2.2% rise in Sydney. Perth was up 1.7%, Brisbane 1.2% for the month. The SQM figures confirm data from Domain and CoreLogic. Domain recorded growth in all cities except Melbourne in the September quarter, with the regions, again according to Domain, doing better than the capitals. CoreLogic said that 7 of the 8 capitals had price growth in October, with the combined capitals up 0.4% and the combined regions up 0.9%. The NAB has said that the number of mortgages in COVID-19 deferral has fallen significantly as more and more borrowers are returning to making their monthly payments. Now, at its peak, the NAB offered deferrals to 110,000 home loan customers, but at the end of October, 75,000 loans are no longer in deferral. The NAB's deferred mortgages now total 34,000, worth $14 billion, which is less than 5% of NAB's total loan book. This follows recent announcement from some of the other big banks showing reductions in deferred mortgage numbers. Westpac have said that 31% of its deferred customers had requested a further 4-month extension, while the Commonwealth Bank advises that it has 41,000 or 20% of 210,000 loans still being deferred. The ANZ reveals around half of its home loan deferrals have come to an end, with 43,000 out of 95,000 now being repaid again. So 2.9% of total house loans remain in deferral, but we expect this figure to normalise by the first quarter of next year. The RBA has warned that extended international travel rules could force down some house prices as rental vacancy rates increase in Sydney and Melbourne. In its financial stability review, the RBA claims that without a large amount of international students coming into Sydney and Melbourne, vacancy rates of short-term rental properties are growing. Now, this should come as zero surprise to anyone who has been watching our news updates recently, because I've been reporting on this for literally months. A recent analysis by the education think tank, the Mitchell Institute, found that international students were in more than 30% of the accommodation in some of our inner cities and close to campus suburbs. There is also less demand from international tourists and domestic business travellers for short-term rental properties. And this was said by the RBA's economists in their review. Now, I suspect that they've been watching my videos, right? Because they are reporting that extended periods of vacancies could lead to mortgage investors struggling to afford repayments and deciding to sell their properties. This has the potential to exacerbate housing price falls, particularly in areas with more investor properties. Now, unfortunately, these are typically the high-density inner-city units that are often sold to unsuspecting investors and spruiked as investment-grade property, which it is not. They also say a sizable portion of small to medium-sized business loans are secured by residential property. And so difficulties experienced by these businesses could also lead to more forced sales and downward pressure on housing prices. So, big news this week in the world of economic metrics. Consumer confidence rose to a 7-year high. CommSec's Economic Insights report that the Westpac Melbourne Institute Index of Consumer Confidence rose by 2.6% in November, lifting from 105 in September to a 7-year high of 107.7 points. Keep in mind that a reading above 100 points denotes optimism. The index is up 42.5% after hitting 29-year lows of 75 points in April. It's also significant to note that this latest survey took place before the US election result was clear, before news of the successful vaccine trials were published, and before the second round of easing of restrictions in Melbourne was announced. So arguably, confidence levels would be even higher, perhaps approaching highs seen about a decade ago. So Aussie consumers are feeling a lot more relaxed. COVID-19 is being suppressed across the nation pretty well, and no doubt Aussie consumers are looking at the situation in other parts of the globe and understandably feeling good about where we stand here down under. Now, this means that sentiment has lifted for 3 straight months, and we have seen similar improvement across the country. South Australians are the most confident, though that might change a little bit with news of this week's COVID cluster, with Victoria not far behind Queensland. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave me a comment below and hit that like button too. I do really appreciate your support, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.